Thank you, Brian and Greg, and hello, everyone, without the pop-up ads. This just in, we're becoming a borough, a city and nation of people watching and using smart TVs or devices like Roku, Chromecast, and Amazon Fire, which make TVs smart. Now, let's define smart as able to watch and use the internet, play games, transact, or interact. Enter two more contenders for smart supremacy. The first one, long rumored, was unveiled last Wednesday, courtesy of Apple CEO Tim Cook, and that is the new smart TV making Apple TV. This is the Apple TV that doesn't just bring you programs, but brings you all those smart TV details, and it will go on sale late next month. Now, by the way, all the stuff that you can get with Apple TV includes apps from Zillow, Airbnb, other companies and game makers, and smart shopping services like Guild Group. Now, one model will be on sale for $149, and another with more processing power at $199. Now, as smart TV sets and devices expand their functionality, so do the ways you can control what's on. Now, back at CE Week 8 months ago, here on BK Live, we witnessed a venture dictated by the point of your finger. Well, now, let's look at a new venture that's been introduced through crowdfunding that does even better.
I just got the TouchJet Wave. It turned my TV into a smart touchscreen that can do pretty much anything. Bam! Download any app from the Google Play right onto the Wave. People in our office love it. It gets them out of their chairs, collaborating like never before.
That's a great idea, Amy.
You can swipe files, photos, and videos from your handheld device right to the TV. And it's super easy to use. Navigate right from your phone. The TouchJet Wave brings people together in any situation.
What you just saw was Wave, conceived by a new player named TouchJet, and it takes the finger play I mentioned earlier one leap forward. Thanks to an infrared-fueled attachment, the TV set becomes a touchscreen. It's able to display smartphone and tablet apps on the set, with all your fingers doing the rest. TouchJet has raised, get this, nearly $600,000 for a national rollout via Indiegogo. Many of the donors taking part have used Wave, and so far give thumbs up. Now, that campaign continues in early October, and thanks to that campaign, there is now an additional technology that allows you to use Skype on Wave, which means getting a touchscreen plus a webcam and a microphone on top of the TV set. And that makes this Skype possible.
It's like the Jetsons.
Yeah.
I just realized it's totally the Jetsons.
The future is now.
Future is now, and we're going to see it really roll on this fall, folks, because you have Apple TV coming out in late October. So it'll be available at Apple stores all over the place, including here in New York. And then you have this TouchJet campaign, which will continue for another 3 or 4 weeks. And as for the people who love it, they really think this is a very special product. And this is an example of the kind of direction TV is going, where we're going to be using our fingers, we're going to be using our voice, because Apple TV uses Siri, which becomes a search engine as well as a voice control. Really? And we don't know what the full capacity or capability of these smart TV sets and devices is going to be. So it's an amazing time, and it's just going to get bigger.
For somebody like myself who thinks TouchJet Wave looks awesome, or a family, let's say, how affordable is that technology?
Well, I understand that for the people who can buy it through this Indiegogo campaign, it's something like maybe $60, $70, $100. It's a plug-in.
Okay.
Oh. It's an infrared plug-in that's attached to the set. And then with the Skype situation, it's again another plug-in. It's the webcam on top of the set. It's the microphone attached also on the top. Yeah. So it's all technology electronically upgradable. So you don't have to buy hardware after hardware after hardware. Now, in the case of Apple TV, there are 25 million people that currently have an Apple TV set-top just to get programs. Right. They are going to have to switch that out to get this new Apple box. So if you want it with a certain amount of processing power, it's $149. If you want it with more processing power, it's $199. But either way, both of those sets are going to give you the opportunity to use apps. As Tim Cook was saying last Wednesday to a packed crowd, about 7,000 in San Francisco, the future of TV is apps. They have made the bold statement. This is where TV is going. We are standing behind it. I think the challenge for Apple now is they must really convince the press and the public that they're for real, because we've had these Apple TV rumors for years, and now, voila, next month they're finally going to bring it out. And if they pull a Google TV where the public relations effort is, we're going to let other people take the lead, we're not going to really showcase this and market this, they're going to be in trouble. Something else that's very important too is they must have the developers like Airbnb and Zillow and the video game makers get involved shoulder to shoulder with him. It was very interesting that the day of, that on Squawk Alley on CNBC, the head of Zillow was on, and John Ford, who was covering the Apple event from San Francisco, asked the CEO directly, are you going to make an app if Apple TV makes this happen? And he said, yes, we're going to make the app. So now they've got to get behind Apple. The developers have to get behind Apple and make the apps happen.
So I have a Roku and an Apple TV house.
Whoa.
Now I have two
Bragging.
houses. I have two devices in my one rented flat. But
Fancy.
but both of them are annoying because you do have to like type in every search. So now I'll just be able to say, hey, find the Cosby Show for me, and it'll bloop it up instead of me hunting and pecking with the little remote control.
Yeah. I think it's in time, we're going to have to find some way for these devices to be compatible on some level with each other. So that if you get like a Roku and you use it on a smart TV set from Samsung or Vizio or LG, or you use an Apple TV and you have Amazon Fire TV along with it, that you have to have some way for the devices and the software in those devices to be compatible. I think one of the big keys is going to be the app makers. Because if you find apps, and by the way, we have to really define apps in a broader sense. It's not just TV shows, it's not just TV services and networks, it is shopping, it is interactive storytelling, it is games, it is transaction services, it's educational services, it's telehealth. What hopefully is going to happen is that the app makers, the people who have done so much with smartphones and tablets, will say, look, we have a new place now to fire up our imaginations and get all sorts of unique applications, and not just adapt their apps for the television set, but create new ones.
Can't we just watch anymore? I don't want the
I think
kids
so.
touching the TV, smudging all over everything.
So even away from technology, you have other things here that you want to talk about. Somebody that I think is the greatest child star ever, who was able to parlay it into an adult career as an actor.
Mr.
Gary
Harris.
Coleman.
Neil Patrick Harris. No, Gary Coleman didn't work out so well.
No.
But Neil Patrick Harris, I love Gary Coleman. Doogie Howser, what's he doing on NBC?
Well, NBC is kicking off its primetime lineup for the fall with a new series that's being produced here in New York, produced live right after The Voice tomorrow night. It's called Best Time Ever, and I think we have a clip, so let's take a look.
I'm Neil Patrick Harris, bringing a brand new show to NBC this fall.
Best Time Ever with Neil Patrick Harris. Tuesdays this fall on NBC.
That's tomorrow night at 10 after The Voice, and it's being produced here in New York. It's based on a British show that's been around for a decade, and the executive producer of that show is stateside with Harris to make it happen. By the way, I believe this is being shot in Queens. Hey, guys, Brooklyn, do the show here. We got the space.
We got to give them credit at least for bringing an American host. They didn't bring one of those guys that we don't know just because they have an accent. So at least Doogie.
And it's a show that's going to have a lot of, and NBC doesn't want to say this, neither does Harris, variety to it. It's going to be musical numbers. It's going to be audience participation, games. I sort of liken it to Sábado Gigante, the Don Francisco show, which ironically is ending its long run on Univision in a week or two. But I understand it's a fun format. It has all sorts of variety. There'll be guest stars. The guest stars will participate in some of the stunts that they will do, and there'll be some surprises, and maybe even some live commercials too, which is something we haven't seen on television in a long time.
We got 1 minute handicap this Sunday's Emmys for us. Best comedy, best drama.
Best comedy, I think, is going to be Transparent, and I think Jeffrey Tambor, who is a fantastic actor, given the performance of his life in the lead role, is going to win Best Actor in a Comedy.
Would they be repeating from last year? Were they
No.
winners last year? Okay.
No, this will be new, and this will be Amazon's first Emmy Awards. And they, by the way, just got one Saturday night with the first round of Emmys, too. And
Stuff.
yeah, so it's all new stuff. And then for Best Drama, I'm coming around to the fact that this may be Mad Men's last shot.
Yeah.
So I think that might win despite a very strong field. The one show I am pulling for is American Crime to win Best Limited Series. Extraordinary show from John Ridley. And I think it's got a chance to win at least 2 of the 4 acting nominations it's up for.
All right.
Thank you, Simon.
You're welcome.
You're the greatest.